All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for
One Ounce, episode 8.
All right.
Oh boy.
We got a time limit.
Yep. Call Toua a JoJo character because he's about to bring in the weather report.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. There we go. That is a very tricky little game you pulled on them there.
Yeah, he's fighting against basically everyone and everything at this point because of how the owner stacked this against him.
Right.
Being forced to pitch way longer than he's physically capable of.
And upping the bounty for the strike or the outs and the runs a shit ton.
A ridiculous amount. We basically have a situation where they have to then end the game as fast as possible by intentionally throwing.
Right.
Basically, as the Mariners.
Yep.
But given that, you also end up having to have a situation where the pitcher can, at this case here, intentionally throw balls that are almost like
intentionally walk them.
Throw balls at them, basically.
And so then they have to swing every single time to make sure there's the strikes, but then they also have to shut down their team when it's their chance to go at bat.
Right.
If they are able to drag it out, even if they don't get runs, it's over.
It's still over.
Yep.
So, yeah. And that's because of what inning we're in right now. So,
right.
All these factors lining up to where Toua could pull off not a victory, but a victory of sorts, really, against the owner and the Mariners, kind of.
Right.
So, y'all, without further ado, let's get into this. Yeah. So they have to intentionally swing at them to strike themselves out.
Right.
勝負を度外視した引き延ばしかよ。そうなるとマリナーズとしてはどうすればいいんですか？簡単ですよ。空振りしちゃえばいいんです。ノーゲームなんかにさせるか。さあバッター、とんでもないボールに手を出した。
Foul ball.
バッターアウト。おっと、初心すかさずバッターにアウト。
Oh,
really?
Cool rule.
そうそう。それでいい。これは頭脳のバトル。より高度な反則をした者が勝ちだ。反則が。
The battle of violation.
I love it.
特使足を上げて。
He hits him. Oh.
落とした。
Oh my god, that's a balk. Yep.
ボークです。
He automatically advances to first base.
Wow.
特使2球連続。
Now, at that point,
三塁ランナーホームインしてこれで16対0。いつきどうするよ。特使第3球を。
This is amazing.
なんと打者が素早く逆のバッターボックスに移った。
Oh, okay.
野球規則によれば、ピッチャーが投球動作を始めてから打者がバッターボックスを変えたら、その打者はアウトですよね。
Wow.
特知、お前の思い通りにはさせん。この試合、絶対に成立させる。
Like, it's such a believable way for it to go into, like, sports anime stuff where they're kind of not even playing the game at this point, right? It's a whole different game.
さあどうする特使。なんとプレート
He's
を
not stepping on it. Yeah.
ボール。なんと特使プレートを踏めないこと。
His face.
I love it.
His fucking face.
ボール。
Wow.
これはマリナーズなすすべがありませんか。ボール。なんとフォアボールのランナー三塁に向かいます。
This is amazing.
走者が逆走した場合、守備を混乱させる意図、
Yeah.
あるいは試合を愚弄する行為とみなし、
Oh my god. Yeah, you need to shut him down.
連中の慌てよ。あれほど楽勝ムードに浸ってたのによ。
俺たちもまだ楽観できない。
Yeah.
This is where we need to bring our A game.
最高の方法を教えてやるよ。16点差を。
Oh my god. Holy shit.
まさかお前らすでに勝ちを捨ててんじゃねえ
Do you
だろ
have
う
two
な。
innings to do it?
勝たなきゃ。
Okay.
勝った形で終わらせなきゃ。 でなきゃ取れねえよ。ペナントはよ。
Champions, yeah.
Meteoric rise, let's go.
Winners.
見ろよ連中。時間のことで頭がいっぱいだ。
Right.
Oh my
The
god.
best advantage.
Oh my
巡
god.
らす余裕もない。
Yeah, they're gonna
Yeah.
throw easy fastballs down the middle.
マウンドのピッチャーキラ。ここまでリカオンズを無得点に抑えてい
Okay,
ます。
okay.
キラー投球練習なんかいいからテキパチ投げろ。とにかく急ぐんだ。
投球を急ぎますキラ。サインの交換も
Yeah,
せずに
spending that little bit of time might actually help you go faster.
ボール
Shit.
Yeah, he's being rushed. The pressure.
I mean,
なぜ制球力のいいキラが。
言っただろ。投球練習をやんなかったからさ。
いやでもキラはチェンジ前にしっかり肩作ってた
oh.
ぜ。
投球練習ってのは肩慣らしだけじゃない。マウンドの感触も確かめるんだ。
Oh, okay.
何してるキラー時間がねえってさっさと投げねえか。
ボールフォアボールフォアボール一刻を争うこの状況でキラフォアボールを出して
And now he's in his head.
Yeah.
走れ。
Yeah. Yep.
Because they can't afford to try and get people on,
Yeah, they
on
can't
steals.
afford to
It's
go
too much
after
time.
Yeah.
抑えることができるのか。
牽制球なんかで時間潰す
Oh
な。
my
ランナー
god.
バッター勝負だ。急げ。
He almost boxed trying to look at him as well. Yeah, safe, yeah.
All right.
なんと西村プロ入り初盗塁。
Way to go!
Wow.
あれだけリードを許してるんだから。
This is so unorthodox. I love it.
なんと西村
He's just running like hell.
Safe again, yeah.
16対0。マリナーズの圧倒的リードにもかかわらずゲームは完全にリカオンズ
And Toa's been able to rest up like crazy this entire
Yeah.
time.
And then he pitches an easy fastball down the middle. That is a double right there.
なんかこの回のキラさん全然怖くない。
He kind of looks like Randy Johnson.
またまた
Kira.
Yeah.
ランナー
It's his mullet and his mustache.
時間を制限するだけでここまで投手は脆くなるものなのか。投球練習ができなかったためにマウンドの穴に気づかず。
Yeah, his equilibrium's totally
それを
thrown
気に
off.
して今も十分な踏み込みができない。遊び球が投げられないから打者の体勢を崩すこともできない。今のキラは体中を鎖で繋がれたまま投げているようなもんだ。
And as a pro, he's used to doing it like exactly the same probably every single time. So having these kinds of like
キラ
just
この回ツーアウトを取ったものの6点目を奪われた。
Another big hit coming here. Yep.
打った。しかしこれはショートゴロ。
Oh.
いや抜かるんだグラウンドのせいで打球が死んでいる。一塁が間に合わない。
gotcha.
No way.
雨ひどくなってきたな。どうする？一旦中断するか。ちょっと待ってください。まだ雨の影響はありませんよ。
Yeah,
もう
it
少しや
totally
りましょう。
isn't.
じゃあもう少し。
雨は次第に強くなってきました。
Statistically, the coach is still right. They should be able to clear this up. Oh, Fujita. Oh
キ
my
ラ一塁
gosh.
に牽制。
牽制なんかいいからとっととゲームを進めろ。
この回リカオンズの攻撃だけですでに30分近くも経っています。
Wow.
あっとキラーまた牽制だ。
来たねついに。来るべき時が。
Yeah, the pitcher's pissed off at the coach. Yeah.
造反。
Yep. Uh-huh.
キラは試合を流すつもりだ。
Yep. Because
Right.
it's horrible on his record.
Yep.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
だがキラは
Let's go. Let's go. Baseball
この試合
knowledge.
窮屈な条件での投球を強いられ、お
Nice.
かげで自責点10だ。
He knows how this would feel for. Yep. Here we
投手
go.
にとって自責点10はあまり
Huge.
Shit.
あキラーまたまた牽制。打者にボールを投げようとしません。
キラーやめろやめてくれ。
面白くな
Wow.
ってきたじゃねえの。
なんという脆い信頼関係。
Holy shit.
しかし考えてみればこのチームには信頼関係が崩れる要因はあった。派手に打ちまくる重量打線の陰できっちりと仕事をしている投手陣の評価は常に二の次。
Sure.
そうかこれはキラの抵抗でもあるんだ。
Nope.
どうしてですか。
Oh shit.
3勝10敗の成績でなんで年俸を下げられなきゃならないんですか。
What?
よく言うね。防御率 3.87 のピッチャー。
3.87 is still decent.
あの屈辱。
Wow.
野手連中のために自責点を増やすだけのゲームなんてやってられっか。
試合を遅らせる意図が明らかな行為
Oh,
を多くを取ることができるのだ。
Okay.
このボークで三塁ランナーホームイン。16
Okay.
対11。一塁ランナーも二塁に進む。さあどうするキラー。入念にマウンドを鳴らしながらじっと何かを考えている。あーっとキラー二塁牽制。
Wow.
キラー牽制をやめる気が全くありません。
No.
Even if it's a balk and he keeps walking people, this game isn't gonna exist anyways.
Yep.
この回実に11失点。キラここで降板です。
悪いことは言わねえからとっととこんな割の合わん試合してろ。
Yeah.
橋の第1球。こけた。
Oh shit.
ボー
That could be an
これ
injury.
もボークです。三塁ランナーホームイン。
俺が掘った穴をキラはより一層深く掘り返したんだ。
Damn.
後のピッチャーが投げにくくなるようにな。キラは
It's his only
リカオンズにもっと点を取ってほしいのさ。
Mm-hmm.
もし逆転でもしてみろ。マリナーズもこの試合をノーゲームにせざるを得なくなる。
Right.
そうなりゃキラの自責点は全て帳消し。
ハシロ何崩ししてんだ。いいからとっとと投げろ。てめえ一人でこのゲーム潰す気か。
Now he's like, wait a minute.
ボールフォアボール。
Wow.
もストライクが入らない。3者連続フォアボールであっという間に塁を埋めてしまった。
Okay.
しかしリカオンズ
We're set up for a grand slam to tie it.
打撃不振のくるみ沢。
マリナーズの焦りは極限に達していた。その焦りは打者に対する緊張
Or those weren't intentional walks, maybe, and now he's gonna throw one just easy right down the middle.
そんな弛緩しきった気持ちから放たれた信念なき一球。
Oh, you're right.
彼らは忘れている。リカオンズにはその一球を待っている悪魔がいる。
It's gonna be like 10 miles an hour slower. It's gonna be right down the middle, just basic, 2 or 4 seam fastball.
ストレート。
Oh shit! Clean out of the park!
Holy shit, his confidence is gonna go through the roof.
呆然とするマリナーズベンチ。対して歓喜に沸き返るリカオンズベンチ。まるで勝ったかのような大騒ぎです。
タイム。両チームベンチに下がって。
中断です。試合中断。
時吉は今頃勝った気でいるだろうな。だが
This guy.
そうそうやつの
It doesn't matter if the game is suspended or whatever.
試合を再開します。マリナーズ守備について。
No way.
No!
No way. Is this the owner?
雨はさらに激しさを増した。
Holy shit. What? The game
Oh my
continues.
God.
The game
I-
actually continues.
That's
Why?
And
What? How?
I love
This
how
is so perfect.
yeah, like so with the earlier like games that we've seen right from this
Right,
show, you know,
uh-huh.
they were fairly straightforward comparatively, all things considered.
Oh,
right?
way more so.
Like,
Yeah.
you know, they still had their fun twists and everything.
Yep.
But this is the kind of shit that I was hoping we'd get to see, even though I had no idea it would look like this.
Right,
Because
yeah.
just having Toua be a good pitcher, okay, that's a great start.
Right.
But that's not quite enough, right? That would get kind of samey if it's just, oh, no one can hit his pitches, right?
Yeah.
No. He plays all kinds of dirty and
so dirty.
and it goes far beyond the pitcher's mound.
Yes.
Like the idea that okay, yeah, they come up with all these ways of like specific rules to try and force walks or outs or
Right.
whatever. Cool.
Yep.
But the fact that he's then like they will end up sacrificing their pitcher with some sabotage that I'll set up and everything that will make it so that then the pitcher will get pissed at the rest of the team from the resentment that would already be there because they so prized the batters rather than the pitcher.
Even though the batters are like, 30 to like 40% of the game, whereas the pitchers are the other like
Half or
more, basically.
right. Yeah. It's a huge part of it.
Mm-hmm.
And so then, yeah, it doesn't matter. No, this pitcher's not going to have 10 runs go on his record. And what I think is so wonderfully poetic about this is that the very business people that were like, look at your ERA, you know, we're going to give you a pay cut. If they hadn't been so harping on the ERA, maybe he wouldn't have cared about it as much.
Sure.
Right? But no, runs are all that matter.
Right.
Well, hey, then I'm going to do what you said. I'm not letting any runs go in on my record.
Yep.
Like, I
now
love it.
he's gonna be enraged at the fact that this game is gonna be continuing.
Oh yeah.
When he's
like, and that's yeah. Like, I have no doubt that the owner is what is causing this game to continue. What my real question is how, and this
or it's just the umpires realizing that, like, no, this game should continue because
it's kind of a farce. So let's just have it.
Well, yeah, let's at least let it continue to the 5th inning, and then we'll call it there.
Sure.
And then whoever is just ahead at that point, you know, wins.
But I could see a lot of the players also getting pissed at this because, one, this is a ridiculous game at this point, right?
Oh, yeah.
And two, depending on how the rain is going with how treacherous the footing is and things like that, and the fact that they weren't doing any of the things to, like fix the field and stuff, like break for a bit, you know, I don't know how they would do that in regular baseball, but, you know, I'm sure they would have ways of doing that because
they have ways.
Right. And
they have big carts that'll come on and they'll kind of even out a lot of the sand in the field and stuff like that.
Yeah, because no pitcher should have to pitch on a mound like that. Like, you know,
it's not safe.
It's not safe, right? Yeah. If they twist their ankle or something like that, well, shit, that's a season potentially where they're out, right? Like, it could go very badly. Like, you're talking stuff that could go outside of this game of, like, potential lawsuits and things like that, where they're like, these are the things that were happening, you know, all this stuff, yada, yada, yada.
Yeah, I'm not sure if a player can call a timeout or if it has to be the manager, like the on-field manager.
I'm guessing, which is probably even more reason where they would be able to say, our team did not protect and represent us, you know, like.
I know that the pitcher doesn't have to call a timeout to do this, but they can interact with other players on the defense. And that's not a timeout. That's just something of where they're like, hey, let me just go and talk to them real quick. And as long as they do it under a certain amount of time, I think that's legal. But I'm surprised that the pitcher didn't be like, oh, look at this mound or what have you. Let's bring it.
Right.
Let's bring some people on to fix that, because that's a problem.
Because his coach is constantly just yelling, go, 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 pitch, 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 doesn't matter, you know? And it's like, oh, well, what do you do with something like that, right?
And here's a small little detail here that I think is rather cool. The idea that he was like, hey, my ERA isn't bad. He's like, it was even better than that previous season. There was a season that they showed on the list where it was above 4, which is, you know, still not bad, but it's not great. And he's like, I'm better than that one. And he's like, and I also had a 13-10, you know, record. And then they were like, it doesn't matter about your win-loss record. Right. Because this ERA on a weaker team like the Lycaons would only net you 5 to 6 wins. Which is what he's saying is that the sacrifice of winning this game is not how you, as your career, will be impacted. To you, it literally does not matter to us whether you win or lose the game. It's about what your ERA is in terms of your pay cut. Yep. Which is crazy because on some level, it makes sense that ERA contributes to a portion of it.
Totally.
But not the majority contributing
How well
factor.
do you get those wins? Not just are you able to get the wins.
Right.
Yeah.
And while I would say he's probably a starting pitcher, like he's probably not a relief pitcher, which is probably why ERA matters a little bit more, because he pitches probably more than the average relief pitcher or closer.
Sure.
It's still something where it's absurd in this case that he would then be forced to pitch under these circumstances.
And one of the things that I love about this is that then this could be something where Toua is not just setting up them to win this game, he's setting them up to win future games. Because he's sowing dissension amongst the other teams, and that is going to last for a long time. That's not just going to go away, right? Like, what do? Let's say they get rid of Kira because they weren't able to depend on him in this game. Okay, they're down a pitcher that was really solid for them, right? Like, he was terrifying to the Lycaons, right? Okay, maybe they get someone else. Sure. Yeah. But that person that comes in is going to know why they got a new pitcher, right? Like, this problem can't just be brushed under the rug. And then all the other teams that hear about this kind of game, oh shit, yeah, they are going to be on edge when it comes to going up against Toua. And they are absolutely going to be questioning the things that their coach and managers and them do, right? is this actually in my best interest? This isn't really feeling like much of a team here, coach.
Right.
You know.
God, it's so perfect.
Yep. Like,
and now we're ready to finish off this game that could go the full 9 innings, but I'd say realistically there's a probable outcome where the game is called early, but they want to finish up at the very least this inning and or the 5th inning, just to keep things going in that regard. And then things will shift if that's the case to then everyone needing to score as much as possible.
Right. And then it's back to like a usual game where it's the who gets more runs and all that stuff.
Right. So all this could be just to bring it back to the status quo of we're then going to play a regular game of baseball again in the rain.
Right.
And that could be because the umpires also are seeing the writing on the wall and they're like, both teams are trying to throw this game to get it out, to basically to be counted as a no game at this point. Both teams have they could call up some people at like the head, major league.
Yeah, what do we do in these situations?
And basically be like, okay, we've got both teams trying to throw the game. Therefore, there's no reason to have this game, but because of that, we can use them as an example to be made to other teams if they try to pull this shit off again.
That it won't fly.
That they both need to have this on their record. That
Sure.
however this game goes, one of you is getting screwed over with this here.
Or you're both kind of getting screwed over equally. And if that ends up happening, that is more of a mark of fear of Toua that will echo throughout the league than anything else could be.
Because it's Toua initiated all this.
Right, Toua initiated all of this. It's if you go up against me, it doesn't matter if you beat me. I will destroy your career potentially. Right? Like, God. What do you do with something like that? You know?
And now the team of the Lycaons is going to be rallied behind him even more because he brings miracles about. He's literally Lelouching this shit all the way to, the umpires being effectively on his side.
Right.
So, all right.
And then,
let's now finish out this series and give the Mariners something to lick on their way home.
Yeah. But if this game goes all the way through, Toua will owe an absurd amount of money to the owner.
Yes,
now,
because he will give up a lot of runs.
Right. Now, I could see this going the direction where it's and then Toua ends up spending the rest of the like year getting all of it back, by like doing perfectly or whatever, and then he like breaks even at the end of the, the season or something.
Right.
Or then it's the setup of where Toua needs to show how the owner broke the contract to reset things to zero.
100%. Yeah, that whole clause there is basically Toua's get out of jail free card, where he doesn't have to worry about how much money the guy lines up, because the amount that he would be giving for breaking the contract is more than probably Toua could ever like want or hope for. So
yeah.
But yeah, that's the episode. Some great stuff from both sides there. I loved the back and forth of Toua and the Mariners batter kind of playing off each other, because they both were getting one over on each other of the he crosses the batter's box.
So
he ran to third base. Oh, he's not even touching the rubber. Oh,
he balked.
He's balking.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Right, like that was wonderful.
That was so fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. This show.
I feel
Mind
like
games.
I feel like this show is a great example of the meme of how like sports anime can get so like involved in particular and things like that, and yet it totally works. It fits with the stuff that they've set up, right? And yet, it's would this ever happen in real life? Maybe, maybe,
possibly. I think it would get called on a lot faster. But baseball's an old sport in terms of like the US, for instance. Like baseball's been around for over 140 years, 150 years or so.
Okay.
So given that over the course of that time, the sport obviously changed, had a bunch of rules added and stuff like that, there was definitely probably points like this on some semi-professional or professional level where games like this would happen. And I'd love to look up the history and see what kind of inspiration they might have drawn, if any, for games like this.
Right. And all of this came about from the premise of a pitcher being paid or needing to pay based on runs and outs.
Yep.
There you go.
So, all right, y'all, thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction and discussion. If you want to see the next episode's reaction and discussion right now, though, go check out the link in the description below. for our Patreon. You can get an early access there. You can watch full-length timer reactions there, and all this comes with Discord access, so you can chat with us in the community there about this show, about anime in general, and also be sure to check out our Twitch channel.
We stream every weekday. The info's in the description.
Yeah, so if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all
Next time.